What is DIRT? On the surface level, DIRT is a Jan-term class offered at St. Mary's College by Shawnee Anderson. It stands for Dismantle, Immerse, Reflect, and Transform. The process of joining begins early in the school year, starting with the information sessions about the purpose and intentions of the class. Once the paperwork is filed and confirmed, the class is formed. The class actually gathers for the first time in October, for the first of 3 retreats. Nights spent gathering, getting to know each other, learning about the intended location, and discussing theory about community-based service and education. Then, the group travels together abroad to accomplish projects for and with the community that hosts the group. From a distance, DIRT seems like a group of strangers doing labor for a town in need. But living through the experience opens a student's eyes to so much more. Let's take a closer look at what DIRT really means, starting with dismantle. Expectations and preconceived notions are unavoidable. But what do dirties do to avoid applying their prior ideas about a foreign country before joining a community? The 3 retreats before the trip are a great way to establish group dynamics, but the class spends a lot of time discussing intentions, purpose, and theory. A big topic to tackle is how to be respectful while entering a new culture. We discuss the white savior complex, volunteerism, and how to document the trip and communities in an accurate and respectful way. This is a crucial foundation to the DIRT crew. One of the major contributors to the DIRT way of thinking is Paulo Freire, a Brazilian professor famous for his different theoretical lenses. A pedagogy of the oppressed is inspected and dissected by dirties on one of the retreats. Each student brings a unique perspective to the conversation, which furthers the unity of the group and the respectful intentions of the DIRT class. January term begins with the first October retreat, but the dismantling of socialized ideas is an ongoing process every dirty partakes in.
And I think that one of the great things about these trips are that you can really work to identify those preconceived notions and those preconceptions and to detach those from your everyday thoughts.
I think I was really hesitant to do a trip like this at St. Mary's because being like a person of color, you're kind of hyper aware of things like that and how situations are going to be handled. And on those first couple of retreats, when we went over that and you were like, we're going to be consciously not doing that. We're going to be striving for something better than that. I was like, okay, I think this feels more like home.
Immersion seems inherent with a class that travels abroad, but it could be really easy for our group to show up to a community, live and eat on the perimeters of it, and barely interact with the people inside the local community. We make the conscious and unanimous decision to enter the communities as friends, to learn their language, and to do dishes with them. It is an important aspect to every individual in the class to work as a cohesive team, to be willing, open, respectful, and adaptive together as a unit. The effort put in by the students and professors allows for something beautiful. Buying in at the ground floor produces a unified, hybrid community, one that can only happen intentionally. Immersion is a very special event that is both personal and collaborative.
I struggled in the beginning because these DIRT trips, I think, require a certain aspect of vulnerability and openness to be able to really let yourself be yourself around a lot of other people.
You're sharing meals with people, and you're sharing bathrooms with people, and you're sharing living spaces with people day in and day out. And I think that makes it really special and different because you have no choice but to bond with people and to get really comfortable with one another.
The way we live is so radically different to the way they live. I'm sure everyone noticed also, just our phone usage in general. That was pretty crazy, where no one would be on their phones unless they were filming or taking a picture, which is completely unlike how it is back in the States.
Personal growth is not a requirement of DIRT trips, but more often than not, it is a byproduct of the reflection that happens internally and externally throughout the time spent together. A portion of our grade is determined by our daily journal entries and participation in nightly reflection discussions. Communication is crucial when spending 24 hours a day as one person in a big group of people. Mental health is valued as highly as our physical health, and reflection allows for the group to support each other and develop thoughts and ideas that form while experiencing a completely new environment. Voluntary vulnerability is offered by each student. Group conversations support conscious internalization of the lessons to be learned throughout day-to-day life in a foreign place. Students are able to bring home new outlooks and perspectives and apply them to their normal routine at St. Mary's and beyond.
If I could tell my pre-trip self something, what would it be? I think it would probably be that I can't predict the future. Like, I should entirely be living in the moment. Any moment that I'm like thinking about what's to come or what's gonna happen when I get back or anything like that is just time wasted because I'm like in an awesome place.
One thing that I think I took away, and I think a few other people took away, is simply the fact that I need way less stuff than I really think I do, or really think I or want in my life.
The students who walk into the information meetings end up as completely different people by the time they board the plane to go home after the completion of a trip. DIRT is not the sole factor changing the lives of each student, but it is the platform that allows growth and evolution. This includes the communities that open their arms and hearts to us in such meaningful ways. DIRT just has a way of bringing out the best in people. Perhaps Max articulated it the best in a journal entry he shared with the group on the trip.
Love. What is love? Love is an undying force that travels beyond time and space, beyond life and death. Love is a life force that can both fuel us and bring us down to our knees. Without this love, we would be nothing. Without this love, we wouldn't be human. With this love, we can find hope in the darkest of places. Barack Obama once fueled his campaign with the idea of hope, but hope cannot exist without love. The audacity of love, the relentless power of love, the unnatural power love fills us with. I sit here and see my cohort, my friends, and I see the radiant power of love flowing to and from each other, not just out of tragedy, but out of the bond that has been formed, the new family that has been created. There'll be a day, maybe near, maybe far, where life will seem pointless. To be honest, I don't think there's a single right thing that can be said. All I can ever offer is for everyone to know, you were, are, and always will be loved. Whether you're 1,000 miles away or right next to one of us, you, every one of you, will always be loved.